We've been spending a lot of time talking about Palantir stock recently, for good reason. They just released their fourth quarter and 2020 full earnings report. Some news has been coming out recently as well, talking about some of the deals they've been making. Some people look at that news as kind of scary, and some people are looking at it as very exciting. Why the gap? What is the reason people's responses to this news is so different? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Trey, getting in touch with you from Japan. In the last video, I was talking a lot about how important it is to have a really long-term mindset for investing in Palantir, but also how it's hard to have that kind of mindset. If you're interested in learning more about that and some of the mindset changes we need to be making, click up here to check that video out. But we've been seeing more news talking about how Palantir has been making some deals, and in their quarterly report, they also talked about how they're growing the number of satisfied clients that they have, both government and military and commercial. They highlighted in their fourth quarter earnings report that the number of clients is increasing and the dependence on government and military related projects is also decreasing. They showed here that commercial business made up 44% of their total revenue. So we're starting to see more news coming through the pipeline talking about, hey, they're making little deals with different companies. And we just saw this press release in partnership with 3M. It says Palantir Technologies today announced a multi-million-dollar expansion of its relationship with 3M. 3M has chosen to expand its use of Palantir's Foundry platform to support its digital transformation, assisting in the build-out of a dynamic supply chain that enables the global manufacturer to respond nimbly to changes in demand across tens of thousands of products. And people are like, dude, Palantir is trading for $26 right now, which gives them a market cap of about 50 billion. It's a multi-million-dollar deal. Maybe that's $3 or $5 or $8 million. How much is that actually going to impact Palantir's stock price? Should we even be caring about this? Why is this news? And actually, if this is the biggest news that we are hearing, shouldn't we actually be pretty scared? Their price to sales ratio is off the chart. A lot of people have been mentioning that down in the comment section. Dude, forget Palantir. Their price to sales ratio is like 30 right now. So you're paying way too much for the actual amount of revenues and sales that they're generating. So shouldn't this actually be a worrying factor? What do you guys think? I think that's where we need to take a step back and look at their business model. A lot of SaaS companies, software as a service companies, use the land and expand business model where they make a deal with a company, they come in and they provide some value, and then the client company says, whoa, actually, the way they solved that was like really dope, really slick, really easy, provided a lot of value for us. So why don't we have them expand into this other part of our business, like 3M expanding out into a dynamic supply chain, you know? And so what ends up happening a lot of times is Palantir comes in, provides some value, and then the company says, whoa, that was awesome. Can you handle this? Then can you handle this? Then can you handle this? And not only do the competition see that and say, whoa, our competitors are saving so much money, we should get in touch with Palantir. But also the company says, wow, these systems like Foundry that Palantir provide just make A or B or C so much easier, so we should keep them on board going forward. In their annual report, they showed PG&E. They signed a multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract to create a digital twin for enhanced safety and grid reliability. So they're talking about how they're making multi-year, multi-million-dollar deals. But actually what we may see more of, like on this next slide, they said they expanded work with a Fortune 200 company and enabled a key transformation of their order for fulfillment system in under 2 weeks. So not only are they coming in and providing a lot of value, they're also doing it quickly and quicker than a lot of their competitors. So one of the frustrations, as I mentioned in the last video, for Palantir investors is that we don't often get to see what's happening because so many of their deals are top secret or confidential, working with the military or working with the government or things like that. Other companies also will come out and say, like Boeing, for example, will come out and say, hey, we sold these crazy advanced fighter jets to the government for like trillions of dollars. You know, Palantir can't really do that. And so it's harder to ascribe a proper value when we're not always being bombarded with these messages. Check it out here. They showed in their annual report, average revenue per customer went up 41% from 2019 to 2020. And so in this trend, they're saying, yeah, we're starting out with little multi-million-dollar deals, but oftentimes those end up getting bigger. And so the average revenue per customer went up 41% last year. It might start out as a small thing, but if it goes up 40% a few times over the next few years, that could end up being a really big deal. And so I think keeping that business model in mind when you see little news clips like this hey, multi-million dollar deal, rather than being bummed out or being like, oh, dude, they only made a little multi-million dollar deal. Keep in mind those two factors, that they're going to be landing and expanding, and in a lot of cases, they can't be public with a lot of these deals. Some of these are probably a lot of the bigger deals they're doing because it's confidential. Peter Thiel, one of the founders of Palantir, also recently did a speech where he said competition is for losers. And so one of his ways of thinking is to just be so good, so effective, provide so much value that there is no competition. And I think Karp and some of the other management are very much in this mode where Palantir, if they're able to execute well and continue to grow and provide so much value for their clients, yeah, right now we're looking at like a $25, $26 stock price. It legit could be hundreds of dollars in the coming years if you're willing to hold on that long, which they've been really clear on. Like, this isn't, you're not going to get rich in a month. They're constantly reminding us, stay in this stock for years if you want to see the value growing and you want to see kind of the full potential of this company being reached as it changes and impacts the world. So what are your thoughts on that? Looking forward to hearing what you think about that land and expand model and how that will affect kind of the way we look at and the way we value and the way we actually analyze all of these news tidbits that we constantly are being bombarded with. I'm also thinking about doing a little video talking about insider trading with Palantir. A bunch of managers just sold more than 2 million of their shares. What's going on with that? Should we be scared? Is that an indicator or a precursor to the fact that maybe we should be selling off because they know something behind closed doors? So I'll probably be making a little video on that. So hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see that. Thank you guys very much for your time. Looking forward to talking with you in the comment section. Leave a like if this video was helpful for you. Thank you guys. Love you. Have a great one.